Hey, I'm Eshaan, and I play guitar and write the music in the Sonic Alchemists, and I'm here to talk about this new record we're putting out called Dream River, and I'm here with composer extraordinaire Jack to talk about some of the songs and the stories behind them.
Hi, I'm Nevezie, and you're at the Bunker Studio. We're working on a record for Eshaan Sood, and we're a recording studio in Williamsburg, New York, and we have a big live room. We're in Studio A right now, working on the Neve, and the band today is drums, saxophone, guitar, bass, and keyboards. And we're having a good time. We're making progress, and looking forward to seeing what happens in the next few hours.
Every single song kind of comes from this like unique moment in your life where something changed, something happened, and through that, I wonder if you could talk a little bit about like how the overall kind of shape of this album comes to be through those stories.
So the first instrumental song I ever wrote is on this record. It's Mountain Muse.
Well, I love all the tunes on the record, but probably my favorite one would be Mountain Muse. Hi, my name is Sam Schaeffer. I play the drums and the cymbals in the Sonic Alchemists. When you look at the page, it doesn't sound like it looks. And I think that working on the tune over time has been really an interesting process.
I have like things I really enjoy about each song, but I guess my favorite to play on is Mountain Muse. I just really like how that song builds up and then like all of us get to really just turn the song into like this big crescendo. It's like a really beautiful moment. Hi, I'm Brendan Xie and I play this giant upright bass for the Sonic Alchemists.
Really early on, because I used to write songs with words, it was pretty easy to be like, all right, if this song is sad, maybe it should have X kind of chords. Then when I started writing instrumental music, it was so hard to make decisions because you're like, you have no limitation unless you put like a theoretical limitation on yourself. So I immediately was like, well, I like the mountains. And I'd recently like come back from a trip in the mountains when I wrote it. And like all of that was like fresh in my mind. After I finished writing it, I was just researching some Indian like folk mountain music, and it happened to be similar-ish. And I've never heard this music before. So that's cool. I guess it is about the mountains then. And for example, I wanted to like capture the feeling of feeling carsick. So initially there's like this 5/4 intro thingy going on in the song, and I'd written it out in 3/4. So it like looked atrocious and like felt atrocious to play. And I was like, that's how I felt in the car. So that was like the first moment. And then that just became how I wrote instrumental music, of like trying to find something to write about. Do we want to do it like we said by set, or should we do a song by song?
Say it again.
I think maybe at least one more of this one.
Yeah.
It's kind of good to stay with the songs in case you just like so you get
Mm-hmm.
kind of comfortable with the sounds, and then if you
I think we should do 2 of each, like
All
2
right.
takes of each tune, and then
Come
listen
back.
again.
Yeah.
Sure,
and then
sounds good.
See how we're feeling.
I want to grab some water before we go back in.
Yeah.
Let's go back in.
Awesome.
Nice job, everyone.
Thank you.
Over the years, the Sonic Alchemists have really evolved, and in my head, it was always a rotating lineup of people. The whole essence of the project was to write a set of music that anyone could play in any part of the world. Like I could travel to a different country, put together a bunch of musicians, and they would interpret the music in their style. But one of the things that making this record has done for me has solidified this group. This current lineup with Sam, Brendan, Annie, and Ivan is one of the closest representations to how the songs sound in my head. And I'm still excited about potentially taking this music to other places and do other stuff. At the same time, if this set of 5 people is geographically in the same location, I'm always gonna try to play with the 5 of us. And that was something that didn't exist before this album.
Is there a story behind one of the songs that you like or can relate to the most?
So I'd have to say Glass-Blown Acquaintances because it's just such an interesting story about Eshaan meeting his glassblower friend on the train and never seeing her again. And yeah, it's perfect. It's cool as hell. Hey, my name is Ivan Demarjian, and I'm the saxophone player for the Sonic Alchemists.
I was on a train from Rochester to New York, as I've been many times over the last 4 years. And I was one of those trips where I was traveling alone, and in stereotypical fashion, I found a seat, sat down, put on my headphones, I started relaxing. And just as the train was about to move, this woman came and asked me if she could sit on the seat next to me. She introduced herself, and then we started talking. And this particular train, it stops in Albany for 2 hours almost, where they change the carts and engine. And usually I'm just like sitting in the train for 2 hours, but then because we were talking the whole time, we like hopped off the train, went, got some food, came back, and you know, in this world of stranger danger and like not talking to anyone who you don't know, and just like the world becoming a more and more lonely place, it was a real breath of fresh air. And they got me thinking, like, thanks to music, I've had so many such experiences, because she and I spoke on the train, and at the end of the train ride said bye. We didn't exchange any ways to like contact each other and just went our own ways. And who knows, like she said she was a glassblower. She could be anything. Maybe she was lying to me. But similarly, like in my time traveling with music, I've met so many people who I've met for a very short amount of time, sometimes a few hours, sometimes a couple of days. And for those few hours, we have this bright, burning friendship for 2 days, and then we never meet again. And so this song is a dedication to all these glass-blown acquaintances that I've made along the way. What's up, Ivan?
I feel like I'm never gonna get a fucking take of this dialect, but let's do it again. It's gonna be chill.
It was interesting in the studio to have everyone at some point be unhappy with a certain part of a song.
Sorry, that was my bad that time. I was just being really done with page 2.
But it was also really nice, like in the end, everyone coming together to support each other, and in those moments of where we were unhappy, to come and be like, no. 1, it's all right, we'll do it again, no worries at all. And 2, when it was actually sounding good, to like tell the other person, you know what, actually, this sounds pretty good. You're overthinking this right now, and it's all good.
We'll have to find exactly where it is.
There's no way you're redoing that soon.
It's so tiny. Like,
No, Sam.
Don't say it's pretty
genuinely,
noticeable.
so
Say
not.
you can notice it and you
I
don't like
definitely
it.
have not noticed it.
He didn't notice it.
We,
I
the
never
people
noticed it.
playing it, listened to it 3 times and didn't notice it, except for him.
But if it's easy to do,
No, yeah, if it's easy to do it, I still don't know what it is.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna be honest.
It was nice to have all of this support with everyone going, of like knowing that if we really needed to redo something, everyone was down to redo it. And similarly, we also had some moments where everyone was like, wow, that was so awesome. I just played that and that's actually sounding great. That's amazing. I'm glad this is going on a record. So we had like a good balance of both of those kind of moments in the studio.
Wow.
Bam.
think that's one of the strongest takes we have any of the songs.
Which is
honestly.
Which is crazy.
because it was the one that we were like, let's not record it.
Well, just like the tenor solo and the vibe, and like just a nice arrangement, like with the little soft piano part, and I think it's one of the strongest ones.
That's insane.
Cool.
Print it.
Is there a story behind one of the songs that you like or can relate to the most?
I really like the story behind Miss Lightning, which is about Eshaan's dog. I always thought that one was really sweet. And it's just a really pretty song, and so, yeah, I like that one a lot. I think that one's really cute. What's up? My name is Annie Orzen, and I play the piano in the Sonic Alchemists.
I wonder if you could take us through the process of writing that piece and how that piece kind of came to be.
So, my dog had been unwell for a while, and I had like been getting these calls like at 6 in the morning, like, oh, we just took her to the vet, everything's fine, and et cetera, and I'd just come back from India like 2-ish, like not even 2 weeks, like 10-ish days back, and I got a call on the morning where she was like scheduled for a surgery, and I was like, okay, it's probably like to tell me that everything's fine, and my sister was like, she's gone. It took me like a solid 10-15 minutes of like because I wasn't there, and I was like halfway across the world, and I was like, this is crazy. I have no way to put any of this together right now. Like whenever like all of this complicated stuff is going on, usually I just sit with a instrument and just think about that and let my fingers do its thing. I did like a lot of playing till like that intro of that song came. Two or 3 days later, when I was thinking about it, like, and I picked up the guitar again, I somehow magically still remembered the intro. Somewhere in the back of my head, I was like, I kind of like this. But I was like, okay, I should write like an ode to her. And it started becoming like this really sad song. And I was like, no, okay, we need to switch, because like she was like one of the most excited dogs on the planet. And she used to run around and do all of this crazy stuff. So I was like, okay, the intro is going to be the only somber part of this song. You know, I've like caught the happy side of her, but I did not catch any of the grief that happened to me. And like, at least for the next 15 days, like everything that was going fine. And like all of a sudden I would just remember that she isn't there anymore. And I would just like, it was like someone flipped a switch and I was like, okay, now I'm like just insta sad. And then at some point you get over your grief and you remember all the happy stuff again. And eventually, as like time goes by, at least for me, like it's sad that she isn't here, but I don't remember any of the sad stuff.
What is your favorite song to play off of this record?
It's a hard question because there's so many good ones, but I think I would have to say If Our Hearts Could Talk. It's one of the slower ones on the record, has a really pretty piano part that's really fun to play, so I like that one a lot.
This piece, what specifically sticks out to me about this piece is the melody. Almost more than anything, there's so much dissonance that happens in this piece. If you could talk about how you approached like building that song and kind of like where all that dissonance kind of comes from.
So it's interesting because the first thing I wrote in that song was that introductory bass line.
It has a really pretty bass line, a little nice little descending thing. It's just a nice little part that the bass and piano lock up on, and I really like the vibe of the song.
I feel like a little bit of my musical education and life has been a little too much of people being like, this is what you can do and this is what you can't do. And every time someone tells me this is what you can't do, I'm like, that's what I'm going to do now. Is there something that's not allowed or not correct? That's the first thing I'm going to try doing. And also the song is about getting misunderstood. And it kind of like, I was like, this is so apt right now. When I was like writing the melody, I messed around. I, on the guitar, put my hand like that on one string and just kept going one note at a time. Randomly, I was like, this one. And like I settled on that and I was like, oh, that sounds kind of sick. And I was like, what note is that? And I was like, oh, it's a G flat on a D flat. I was like, okay, I guess that's it. And I actually wrote words out. When the first line, like the first melody line goes, beep, dee, dee, dee. That's just like, oh, if our hearts could talk. Like I literally just wrote all of that out, basically in English. So I'll just put a 44. What?
Got you. Wait, Eshaan, did you mean like high stuff, low stuff?
Wait, Sam is saying low stuff, right?
Yeah.
So can we just hear what that would be? Like, yeah. I mean, I can go wherever depending on where it's going. Can we try it? Wait, can we try from that section going into the solo for a second, just to try what it sounds like?
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but there is just one tune that you don't play on, right? You
Yeah.
don't solo on, yeah.
Yeah.
I think this like, and that kind of goes up back into this whole thing of like this isn't supposed to be like the Eshaan Sood quintet, right? That's not the
That's
the goal.
definitely not the vibe, and it's been like hard to sell that. Not like, I don't mean like commercially to like a market, like even to the band. Everyone's so used to having a band leader and someone who like calls all the shots. So I've tried my best over the years of playing with everyone to encourage them to just be like, you gotta tell me when you don't like something. It was nice to like finally be at a point where I think everyone, both musically and as people, like just trusted each other enough to be like, all right, cool.
Okay.
Man, I really wanna not have such a twangy tone.
Yeah, we can tweak it a little.
I don't know what to do. Okay. I'll take like 10 to eat some snacks. One of the most beloved jazz amps is the Fender Deluxe Reverb, and Bunker Studios has a really great Fender Deluxe Reverb, which when I saw on their gear list, I was like, oh wow, I'm gonna use this amp and it's gonna sound amazing. But I think the important thing with gear is not the lore or not how legendary it is or how expensive it is. I think it's about how well you know how to use a piece of gear and to walk into a room and start recording on an amp that I've played maybe a handful of times in my life was not the best idea.
All right, ready?
Wait. No, I'm not.
All right.
Yep, no, I'm ready. And that kind of got in the way of the flow and interfered with improvising and being super focused because all my attention was going on the tone.
Any major things to address or fix?
Not as a group, I feel. I'm just like, can't dial the sound in, which I'm just like constantly thinking about that while playing, which is not where I want to be.
Yeah.
Is the balance having issues, or is it?
It's a little bit of both. Balance is on me. I mean, all of it's on me, but like, I'm just trying to like not have a twangy tone because that's like, I can't play to it because I don't know how to play to it.
I mean, the amp is at my hotel, which is like a 15-minute drive.
What?
No, like
15-minute drive.
6-minute drive, like around there. But like 15, 18, 20-minute walk.
But you don't have a car, no?
I have my car.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
You came in a car and still didn't bring them?
You said it was a backup.
Yeah, but if you were walking, I thought you would bring your car. Come on.
Okay.
So eventually, we did the thing where we took one of the most revered tube amps and replaced it with a solid state amp that you can buy today for $1,000 and recorded the rest of the album on that.
Chance.
It was number 8 actually. Did you want 8? I said 8. This is good, I think. Yeah.
It's kind of nice, right?
Yeah, this is great.
Talk about Plea for Forgiveness a little bit.
Oh. So, Plea for Forgiveness was the second song I ever wrote, and it was written right before I went to therapy. It was just like a series of things. Like everything I touched didn't work out. And I was in this music school back home and I was doing a keyboard class, like wanted me to learn that Bach. I was trying to play it and I was like, I can't do this right now. Firstly, I have no interest in learning how to play Bach on the piano because like Bach's great, but like this is too much work, like for me to learn how to do this on the piano. So she offered me that if I like wrote a piece myself and could play it on the piano, she would let me like replace that as like the performance part of the class. While I was dealing with all of that, I wrote this. The more I like listen to other music and the more I think I like let myself get out like, oh, an intro is supposed to be X. Like an intro is supposed to introduce the song. Like the more I like let myself like let those ideas go, the more I was able to be like, what are the intros just us going ham? Like just all together playing and like slowly trickling in and trickling out kind of a thing. And then it was actually Sam's idea to add like the hits in the intro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I was like, this is what ties all of it together, right? prelude section has always been a mirror of the chaos in the intro.
Gotcha.
So then we like replicated that there. And like the A section is like the plea of like, hey, please, can you please stop messing with me? Right. And the B section was like, this is not gonna work out. I'm gonna have to do something about it myself, I guess, if I want things to change.
Like a lot of this album, I feel like is kind of turning what traditional jazz albums are kind of a little bit on their heads, like doing things a little bit differently, doing things in a way that makes sense for you. I want to kind of lead that into the song "Here for a Good Time." Where we have this like really great this disco beat behind some very, shall we say, like recognizable chord changes.
Yeah.
I remember hearing that and being like, oh my gosh, is that giant steps?
One thing that has been a struggle is this idea of like, when you play a solo, you play the changes. In my opinion, not the hardest ones. For some reason, Coltrane changes are like on this holy grail of like, oh, if you can play train changes, you can play anything, which is the biggest lie anyone will ever tell you.
Yep.
And I feel like he made it okay to have super complicated harmony. Like he, in that era with his stuff and Herbie with his stuff and Wayne with his stuff, like I think all of those guys were really pushing the limits of like, how harmonically crazy can we make this? I just wanted to take this very crucial key part of jazz education and be like, what if this was fun? I just wanted to take that harmonically crazy thing and put it to something that someone who has no idea what jazz is, someone who maybe doesn't even like jazz, could listen to and be like, I kind of like this, or like at least like vibe to it.
You mentioned in your time when talking about "Here for a Good Time" that this is influenced in part by your time working with Selden as well.
I know that they won't take away.
So before I came to Eastman, I used to predominantly perform playing pop music. And then I came to Eastman and like that part of my musical identity just like poofed away. I think at some point like freshman or sophomore year, I had just mentioned to Annie that like I also play bass.
That something's waiting to be. So trust me,
and there was this party at her house that she needed a bass player for. And I don't know, I just spent the week learning all of these pop songs, and it was just so much fun to stand there playing for like hundreds of people at a house party, just all losing their minds and dancing. And I was like, kind of high-key miss this. One of the things that I noticed as I was producing my pop album and the amount of production that goes into pop was that as a jazz musician, you're a little bit of your own producer in the room. Like there are 5 producers in a 5-piece band all trying to make a song. but I did want to do some production elements just like I did in my pop music. There's this Billie Eilish song called Bittersweet, if I'm not mistaken, which has this big synth opening. I'm into it, make it a little more dancey.
Cool.
Make it come alive.
And I later in the mixing stage found out that that was actually multiple synths stacked on top of each other, but our first guess was that it's a Juno. And I really wanted to use that sound in here for a good time.
Oh wait, shit, this is what we're doing? Songs or no? Just that.
At the moment, just this.
Get it, right there.
She gonna be like overdubbing that and maybe even.
And maybe this
and
and actually the whole song is what I'm
Maybe this and that and this.
Synths and electronic drums are really part of this whole disco style. So just to give it a little bit more of a electronic touch to bridge that gap between jazz and dance music a little bit, which is why we added the Juno.
Are you thinking pads or I'm doing the rhythm?
Sha, sha, sha. The same. Sha, cha, cha. Here it is. 1, 2, 3.
That's lit. I like that a lot. It's like Dave Michael.
So I want to, and this is also another one where you kind of allude to like an influence of yours. I'm talking about hexes and spells,
Yeah.
of course. With I was wondering if you could talk about how this piece kind of like started as a dedication.
I think the first time I heard of Gilad Hekselman was in 2018 or something like that. Back home in India, like where we don't have like a plethora of jazz coming in from here or there, we used to all scour the internet and we like try to listen to everything possible. So found him, really dug what he was doing. And then during the pandemic, he put out a post saying like, hey, I'm offering like discounted-ish music lessons in case anyone wants one. So I took one lesson with him and he was just like the most generous teacher I've ever met. The big thing was like like the fact that he turns everything into a concept that is like workable and exercisable and sheddable and then ingrainable was something that like really stuck with me. So over the years, like I like would take one lesson with him just to be like, tell me what's wrong with what I'm doing. It was crazy because there are some people who can be blunt, but like in a bad way. Whereas he would tell you you're messing up, but immediately be like, all right, this is what you need to do to stop messing up. This is totally achievable. Like he would give you a very clear roadmap of how to do it. So that just also like increased my respect for him as a human being. I was writing this melody and like it had all of this stuff going on. And I was like, wait, isn't this like kind of like one of the Gilad lessons that he put on his Patreon? So I went back. I was like, oh, it's like the exact same scale, which also happens to be this Indian rag.
So I wonder if you could tell us a little bit about the title of that. Where does Hexes and Spells come from?
So Hexes and Spells comes from D&D. In the pandemic, me and a few friends used to do like listening parties. And like every week, one person was responsible for creating a playlist with like a theme to it. Mm-hmm. And the one I made for Gilad was called Gilad's Hex, just because his name is Hekselman.
Right, yeah.
And then another thing with this song is like, for example, like the second half has all of these like weird polychord thingies happening.
Yeah.
And that came from me studying with a professor here at Eastman named Darius Starafenko.
From the top of the close position voicing and drop it down an octave.
Who's also basically a wizard. So it's kind of like a two-parter dedication. Like part of it is hexes, which is Gilad Hekselman, and spells, which is to the Polish wizard Darius Starafenko, basically. So that's kind of where the title comes from.
We've kind of gone through like almost your entire musical career at this point. We get to the last song or the most recent song you composed. Another one of my personal favorites, Sailing Through Dream River.
Contrary to Plea for Forgiveness, where like nothing was working out, like most things were going in my favor. So many times, especially during music school, we like get into the weeds about all this stuff, and the only real thing that matters, at least to me, is that if you can go into a room and play music and if people feel something. Because if they don't feel anything at the end of it, it doesn't matter. The idea behind sharing these stories is so that people can find their own things in their life that they can use this as a soundtrack to. Feeling something is better than feeling nothing for me, and that's like at the core of all of this. The surrealness of the whole process has been amazing, and now that it's going out into the world, there's definitely a part of me that's like, oh, wow, I'm glad that this is over. But there's also a way bigger part of me that's so excited to see all of this work go out into the world. It's like a 14, 15-year-old version of me who used to watch like Iron Maiden Rock in Rio and like Metallica recording Saint Anger in a studio and be like, it'd be kind of cool to go to a sick studio someday and record an album with a band. And I was like, wait, it's kind of actually happening right now. Like this. And I'm really excited for everyone to, enjoy everyone's musicality on this record, to enjoy Annie's sensitivity, to enjoy Ivan's crazy altissimo, to see like all of the Sam's like brewing intensity like that he gently just throws in there, to see Brendan's goofiness and like through the lens of all of these songs that I wrote. And I'm just super excited for these to go out into the world and become part of other people's lives.
All right.
Is that everything?
That's a record. Congratulations, Eshaan.
Thanks, guys. What the heck?
Yeah.
Let's go. Thank you so much, Alex.
And then David, you gotta get in here. You know that.
Yeah.
Off camera.
Good work, too.
It's been like your head falling back.
You want to make some money on the side? I guess fuck, I'll do a chess coach.
And then there's like one job. Like, he's like putting all his eggs in one basket.
I'm like, no. Shot on the scooter. I was like, no chance. You're just going to be in front of you.